Greetings, everybody. I wanted to take a minute to reach out and touch base with all of you as we near the end of our semester together. And I wanted to give you a big thank you for all of the hard work you've put in, for your willingness to jump back in and send me things at the last second, to take my feedback and work with it. So I appreciate the hard work you have put in. And for those of you who had to have placement and there were issues with that, I also appreciate your patience as we transition through consolidation into a new way of doing things for field experiences. So I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for that. I also wanted to go over a few end of the semester things, okay? So if you're looking at your schedule, I know I just finished some of the feedback for some of you on the unit plan, so you probably didn't get a chance to teach it this week, and that's fine. If you look at the schedule, I put that you teach the 3-day unit this week really as kind of a push to get it done. Technically, you don't turn anything into me yet, so you still have next week to video. It's just that you will also need to put together, write up your assessment and instruction commentaries next week, because those will be due on the 28th of April. And there isn't a ton of flexibility there because we are so close to the end, and these are going to be very time consuming for me to grade. I need to get those in. I need you to get those to me this Sunday, unless we have talked about some other type of arrangement. So be looking at that. Remember, you're going to need to do an assessment commentary and an instruction commentary again. And some of you, and it may have been confusing because of the way we did it earlier in the semester, some of you misunderstood the planning commentary a little bit. You do need to include all 3 days of your unit when you're considering your responses to the commentary. So you want to be looking at the student's progress across the unit, all 3 days that you taught, okay? And you're going to be writing about the evaluations you took across that time, the supports you used, the scaffolding that you used, and so on. Remember to answer every part of every prompt. Sometimes it is an either or prompt, like you answered this one, so this one you wouldn't respond to necessarily. In those where no response is required or fits, you would write N/A or not applicable in there so that there's a response in every prompt. So make sure you're really looking at that carefully, because some of you are actually just missing response pieces, and I don't know if it's just because there's so much text. So be careful with that. Take a look at that closely. You also need to be specific. You want to provide specific examples of how and when you did certain things that supported your answer in the prompt. So you're going to refer, and in the assessment and instruction commentaries, remember, you're going to use video timestamps. You're going to submit one of the 3 videos to me, okay? And that one video is supposed to have the times, what you're going to be referring to within your commentaries, where there's timestamps of examples, okay? If you're confused about that, let me know. We can set up a time to chat a little bit. Secondly, as far as your video goes, I know most of you are not teaching lessons that only last 20 minutes from beginning to end. I get that. And it is supposed to technically be unedited. So what I want you to do is, but I need to see all the components that are written into your evaluation rubric, okay, for my teacher observation piece. So I want you to make sure you're filming your intro where you're talking about your behavior expectations, your anticipatory set, where you actually perhaps do the modeling or demoing of the lesson. And then some, at least some of the guided instruction. If the guided instruction is going to last a while and it's just kind of the same thing because the students are working, you can pause your video and then start it again before you transition them into the formal assessment or the independent practice component. And then if your independent practice is going to last a while, pause that video again. I don't need to watch 15 minutes of students completing tests. Like, I get it. After 30 seconds or so, I see that you've set them up and you're going to go around and watch them, okay? So then you can pause the video and then start it again as you get to your closure, because I want to see your wrap up. Now, in the interest of me being able to also observe you, I want you to realize for EdTPA, you're going to have a limitation on the time frame. For me, and because we're practicing, it's okay if you go a little bit over that 20 minutes. I do want to see and be able to give you feedback on your teaching progress. So I don't need to see an hour and a half. So if it goes a little bit over, if you're in the 25-minute range, that's okay. That's going to be fine. You'll keep working on getting that EdTPA video perfected. This is, like I said, this is really just a way for you to start practicing those skills. Make sure too that your video audio is really clear, because that piece, sometimes you're filming from really far away from where you are and it's hard to hear what's being said. And for EdTPA purposes, you want to make sure we can hear the focus learner. So be thinking about that. You may need someone to help you with the actual videoing. You can have a student help if they're willing to. That's up to you. Okay, those are the big things there. So this week, nothing is specifically due to me. You should be working on or planning for when you're teaching and videoing all 3 of your lessons for the unit. Next week, you need to make sure those are done, because you do need to submit your best video, or the video you want to correlate with your assessment and instruction commentaries. Those are all going to be due to me this Sunday. Not this Sunday, I'm sorry, April 28th. And then the next week is really going to be reflection. Reflection on the course, on your teaching progress, all of those things. Just another reminder, make sure you are getting all your paperwork in for if you went and observed in different classrooms. I need those all uploaded and submitted. If you've been doing regular placements, I need those evals from your clinical supervisors submitted. Just start getting all that paperwork in so we're not chasing it down at the last second. Okay? And as always, if you all have any questions for me, I'm happy to arrange a time to talk on the phone or video chat or whatever you need. Or we can email, whatever works for you. Just let me know. And again, it's been a pleasure. Take care.